Okay, so we're gonna try this at low level. Kanbei and the Overlord. They're Anjin. Could I ask you to search for the sword? Heshikiri Hase treasure. I'm gonna butcher that, I'm just so sorry. I'm just gonna call it the Heshikiri treasure of our clan. I had entrusted it to that oaf Nagamasa, but he just came to me wailing that he'd lost it again. I believe you've already found it for him once. The fool probably dropped it in the cave during the fight with the yokai. I would ask that you come to the clan's aid and retrieve the sword once more. Rumor has it that around the time the sword was lost, dead warriors began to roam the cave. Be on your guard. So this is a gauntlet. This is back in the second area still, where we fought the vampire lady. And then, so the first part's normal, but the second part is just, it's kind of like a boss rush, if that makes sense. So go ahead and rest at your first shrine. Okay, so we're gonna search this item out here. There is a yokai right here. We're just gonna kill it right off the bat. Okay. It's not gonna respawn because it was a cloud. So I'm gonna go restore my ninjutsu. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. I actually am gonna look at that Onamori charm too. Nioh. Don't need that. But my armor has been beefed up quite a bit. I reforged as much as I could, and I also got I got a lucky charm. Throwing weapon damage times 2, 13%. And then ninjutsu power plus 6. And then of course I just have the ninjutsu basics, but I got ninjutsu damage bonus. And then I also got, I think I had an agility damage bonus. But yeah, as long as I have the Kurosari Gamma on, it is a ninjutsu damage bonus. I actually did pick up a really nice set of twin swords too. So weaken armor torso means that it will create a weak spot and deal more damage if I strike it in the torso. So there's this guy, and he is a possessed monk. So what he does is these revenants, when you get too close, he summons them. So if you kill him before he summons them, then you don't have to fight him. But see, you get too close, and he's like, let's talk about this. There we go. So now we don't have to fight him. There's nothing here, which, okay, that's a test subject, but it would have been a spear wielder. One of these times I'll have to fight that so you guys can see. What did the medicine case have on it? Always want to be checking your stuff. Reoccurrent damage from poison, 12%, nice. Which is good for me, because I actually have poison shurikens. So Dweller up there, he's gonna try to toss some Hyakudamas our way. There's a Dweller up here, just chilling. There's a big boy right here. Don't worry about expending your ninjutsu. You're gonna get it back. Nice, we got another elixir. So there's another dude here. But like I said, do not worry about expending your jutsu. We're gonna get it back. See, that was effective. That was unexpected, but effective, right? I bet you guys weren't expecting that to knock him off the cliff, but the fire damage too. So there is a giant dude that we need to take out before we hit the next shrine, and he's not that difficult. We fought one before. And we actually can probably just not worry about him. See, but behind this box right here is the actual dude. And then the tough part actually happens now. So there is a dude up here we can kill and go get the treasure that he dropped. But up here, that's bad news. So yeah, you got another one of these guys. And that's not gonna be the only one, that's the bad part. Okay, so we got a few things. But anything that you have that you can really use to your advantage, I highly suggest you do so. But see, I'm restoring those on purpose. So now we're gonna see how this goes. Usually this is pretty difficult, actually. I think those will be okay. 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 If you can kill them without using your throwables, that is awesome. Okay. But there's some that you just have to, like those. Get rid of those as quick as you can. Those are not nice. Those are also not nice. I think there should... yeah, there's a big dude behind me. Ooh, that hurt. There's also an archer up there, and he's making it difficult for us. So you can hit him. Okay, and I saved my strongest stuff for last. I really did. Okay, we got him. Okay. That's a revenant. A dual sword revenant. Nonetheless. Hey. Yep, I got caught in the corner. Don't do that. Okay. Yeah, so that's the tough part, and living weapon time. We're just gonna get rid of these guys. Yeah, we got the boss room key. So, so yeah, boss gauntlet, like I said. Hopefully that was a coherent. Really did try to make that. I really did try to make that coherent without panicking. So. Okay, so he's actually a possessed monk, and that was all his doing. But this can be quite the challenge. Honestly, the the higher numbers mean higher damage in this game, and your armor makes all the difference. So that's why I put points into nothing but dexterity, because that boosts my new jutsu power and also my Kurosari Gamma. So. We got Mizuchi. So we got our first Guardian Spirit. But yeah, I know I keep saying it, but big numbers, big damage, and that's pretty much true. You think this has a soft cap scaling? It really doesn't. You can go all the way up to 200 in every single stat. So keep pumping those damage numbers. So a yokai like a monk was wailing and holding a heshikiri. I know not how to interpret that, but perhaps the sword is a greater responsibility than we Kuroda can bear. Here, take it with you. If you will pardon my presumption in making the offer, this is the Kuroda clan's finest treasure. Use it well. And we also get the smithing text for it. You can go back in there and get another sword and a kabuto and roaring gun ammo, but that is all of the side missions we have unlocked so far. And then the next episode, we're going to tackle the Spirit Stone Slumbers. That by far should be your biggest challenge.